Let's make a hearty Malaysian-style oxtail soup. It's rich, it's herbaceous, slightly tangy, definitely a must try. All right, so this oxtail soup is not just your regular oxtail soup, it's a Malaysian-style oxtail soup that has a lot and lots of spices. Okay, now first of all, we're going to break this into a few different sections. First, we're going to start off with the meat, and then we're going to head into the spices and then the vegetables later on. Okay, first off with the meat. Now, in the traditional Malaysian oxtail soup recipe, we don't dust the oxtail with flour. The reason I'm doing this is today I'm trying to sort of take the Western technique of making an oxtail soup, but applying it to a Malaysian recipe, because I find the consistency of a Western oxtail soup is really nice. You know, it has somewhat a consistency versus a Malaysian oxtail soup is a little bit runnier. After adding the flour, I'm also going to be browning the oxtail before I proceed on with sauteing the blended ingredients. Now, while we're waiting for that to heat up, I want to roast off my spice. The other reason why I'm browning the meat is that we get so much of flavor from browning meats. Yeah, so I want to try and incorporate that and see how it turns out into a Malaysian-style oxtail soup recipe. While the meat is browning away, I'm going to start preparing the items to blend. We've got shallots, garlic, ginger. We're adding in together the roasted spice and some candle nuts. That smell of brown meats, grilled charred meats, that's exactly that smell, the flavor, the fragrance that I want to get inside this Malaysian oxtail soup, which usually isn't there. All right, so now we're done with the meats. I'm going to be adding the whole spice into the pot to perfume the oil, and then I'm also going to be adding in the blended items. All right, so now that the pressure cooker is done, let's open it up. There we go. So, the pressure cooker has done its work. Now we're gonna remove it and put it into a big pot or even a wok so that we can add more vegetables inside. Hallelujah. 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 Okay, I don't know why I burst into that song, but it is, dude, this is so good. With that squeeze of lime in there, it just balances out the richness from the oxtail, the herbs, the spices that we put inside. Absolutely delicious. Potatoes is nice, soft, and the potatoes just absorb all that flavor just like a sponge. Now I need a fork. Get more of that oxtail meat out. The one thing I probably should have done, which I didn't, was to actually trim off the excess fat in the oxtail. That way I wouldn't end up with having to skim a lot of oil that's on the top, but you know. And here's the thing about making oxtail soup that I find many people don't do on the outside, which is, I think, a great thing to take note of, that celery cooks extremely fast. The moment you put the celery in, let it be in for about a good 30 seconds, turn off the heat. Because the reason for celery is, it's the element of freshness, right? That just cleanses the palate, that balances out this dish. And if you overcook the celery, what's going to happen is you're going to lose that effect. Yeah, you're going to lose the freshness of the celery. So it's very, very important to keep your celery sort of fresh, crunchy. That way, you really get a nice, fresh flavor that comes through with this rich soup. And the other thing, I don't use the dried fried shallots or fried onions to go on a soup because the onions will sort of just get soggy really, really quickly. But if you use shallot in oil or fried onions that's in oil, you can make it yourself or buy it from the shop. What happens is it stays crisp longer in a soup dish. It's not going to turn soggy on you, and then you'll be left with this soggy sort of stuff that doesn't really have much texture to it. It's just soft and a bit, to be frank, I find it a bit right? This oxtail soup is definitely something. My man, this is the bomb. Like the bomb. You can try out this dish for Ramadan since it's around the corner, and you know, you have the entire day to make this dish, serve it to your family, make it right and serve it. It's going to be something that really just warms the stomach and very, very fulfilling. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. If you've enjoyed this content, you think it's added value to you, this Malaysian-style oxtail soup, but made with sort of a Western technique. If you've tried it, let me know in the comments down below what difference you think it has made. I feel it gave a lot more beefy flavor, a lot of depth in that beef flavor. To me, it became a lot more robust. Let me know what you think. If you do try it out, take care, guys. Peace. I'll see you next week.